The hermit's path. Every life follows a path. Most people move through their days without thinking much about the small habits that guide them, the words they speak, the choices they repeat, the routines that quietly shape who they become. The hermit's path is a place to slow down and look at those small things. In this series, we explore simple ideas and practical steps that can help bring a little more awareness and intention into everyday life. Nothing complicated, just thoughtful ways to live a little more deliberately, one small step at a time. Prepping is making sense. Now, let me tell you something I didn't understand for a long time. Prepping is finally making sense to me, but not in the way people online usually mean it. I'm not prepping for the end of the world. I'm not stocking up because I'm waiting on doomsday. I'm not building my life around fear. I'm prepping to make my solitude easier. And if you live anything like I do, you already know why that matters. Solitude sounds simple when people talk about it from the outside. They make it sound like you just walk away from the world and suddenly everything gets peaceful. Like all you have to do is leave the noise behind, and the noise stops. That's not how it works. You don't just walk away from the world into solitude. If you try to do that, you're making a very big mistake. Because solitude isn't just a place, it's a way of living. And a way of living has to be held up by something real. Groceries still matter, water still matters, heat still matters, medicine still matters. And if you've got animals, their needs don't disappear just because you want quiet. Winter still comes, illness still happens, things still break. And when you live a little farther out, those small problems can turn into big problems fast. That's the part most people don't talk about. Solitude without preparation turns into stress, and stress ruins solitude. Let me say that again because it's the whole point. Solitude without preparation turns into stress, and stress ruins solitude. So when I say I'm prepping, what I really mean is I'm building continuity. I'm preparing so my life stays steady. So I'm not waking up every morning thinking, what am I out of? What do I need? What's going to run short next? Because the truth is, that kind of thinking doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like being hunted by your own unfinished business. That's why I don't look at preparation as paranoia. I look at it as protecting my peace. It's not about drama. It's not about panic. It's not about living like the sky is falling. It's about making sure the quiet stays quiet. Because the world has a way of demanding your attention, not always with big disasters. Most of the time, it's smaller than that. It's the slow grind, the constant trips, the constant errands, the constant running back and forth, the constant I should have picked up, the constant I'm out of, and that constant tug. It pulls you right back into the noise. So when I put back supplies, when I build systems, when I stock what I actually use, I'm not building a bunker. I'm building breathing room. I'm building space. I'm building a life where I can stay home, stay grounded, stay congruent without having to keep one foot in town at all times. People romanticize solitude. They picture a cabin and a sunrise. They don't picture water filtration. They don't picture food planning. They don't picture winter. They don't picture what happens when you get sick. They don't picture a flat tire on a cold morning. They don't picture how fast simple living gets complicated when you don't have what you need. Quiet living is engineered. It's built. It's maintained. It's layered. And I've learned this the hard way. If you walk away unprepared, you can end up resenting the very life you thought you wanted. And resentment turns quiet into loneliness real fast. That's why preparedness matters to me. Not because I'm expecting the end, but because I want my chosen life to keep going when small things go wrong. Because it's always the small things that wear you down, not the big cinematic disasters, the little gaps, the missing ingredient, the empty propane tank, the medicine you wish you had, the week you can't get to town, the snow that shuts you in, the rain that makes everything harder, the day your body just says, not today. Preparation is what keeps those days from stealing your peace. So no, I'm not prepping for the end times. I'm prepping for continuity. I'm prepping so my life doesn't fall apart the moment something minor goes sideways. I'm prepping so solitude stays sustainable, so the quiet stays clean. So the life I built doesn't get hijacked by one forgotten necessity. And maybe that's the real truth I've landed on. I'm not stockpiling fear. I'm stockpiling freedom. Because solitude is easier to love when it's supported. And I love how I live. I just respect what it takes to carry it off. Walking the hermit's path doesn't require dramatic change. Most of the time, it begins with something small: a new habit, a different way of thinking, or a simple choice made with a little more awareness. If something in this episode resonated with you, consider giving the video a like and sharing it with someone who might also appreciate the idea. And if you'd like to continue exploring simple ways to live more intentionally, be sure to subscribe and join me again along the hermit's path.